This is John Walton, and you're listening to the Power Play Point podcast with the Blue Liner on Point and Anna Knox. Here's Wilson, and on the right, certainly scores!
Rebound loose, wild scramble in front, score! Ovechkin with a buzzer beater! It'll count!
And a hat trick tonight, number 21,
Spectacular! Braden Holtby!
Hello and welcome once again to the Power Play Point podcast. This is your host, the Blue Liner on Point, speaking to you, the Caps fan, live from downtown Glen Burnie, Maryland, as we finally get 2021 actually underway with actual games, and here actually to talk with me and to you about what happened on the ice this past week. The one and only Mermaid, live also to tape from Centerville, Virginia. It is the Mermaid and I.
Yes. Happy Sunday, Gil.
Happy Sunday. So if we sound a little rushed, that's because we're trying to get things together in time for the football playoffs.
I will say this. When we became friends and we decided to do the show and so on, you knew I was a total sports nerd. So I love the NFL. I do. And I mean, like, I don't have anything, no teams in this playoffs or anything, but I am like glued to the TV. So yes, sports nerd, Mermaid, loving this, hoping, we don't even need to talk about who I hope to win, but yes. So I am in that kind of time crunch, and I'm sorry to be so ridiculous about it, but trying to get that, do dinner, and watch the Saints-Bucks game at 6:40.
No apologies or anything. Nothing of that nature is necessary. Just kind of setting the stage. So that's where we are. That's where we are. It's just about 5:30 on a Sunday. So if we're both kind of distracted, that's why. Because
but compared to last week, and we have 3 games to talk about. I'm pumped.
This is true.
I'm pumped.
And just to start things off on a good note, the Caps, I can say, got points in all 3 of them, so not bad. No regulation losses yet.
No, and we'll get into that when I know we break down the games. So maybe that's what I have a focus on is when you asked me if I had anything to talk about. I think I want to maybe put a little public statement out there to some of the fans. Maybe.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Can't wait to hear that. So always love it when you get all
feisty,
feisty and opinionated. So
yes.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll okay. So let's go ahead and get to it then.
Sorry. Oh my God.
No worries.
That was awkward. That was just have the Cap stuff pulled up, and all of a sudden it just started playing an ad. So I apologize for that.
Oh, no problems. That's the perils of surfing the web.
Not even. I was like, I want to be sure that I have all like the right. Usually I don't have this when I'm talking to you, but I was like, but I want them with the football scores. But I also wanted to be sure that I had the right order of that fantastic first game. And then all of a sudden this weirdo ad just came on. So good times.
No worries. All right. So Caps, as you know, played 3 games this past week. First 2 were against Buffalo in Buffalo. And the first of those 2 took place last Thursday as a 6-4 win. Now, and I warned you guys, it probably wasn't going to look picture perfect as the announcers made mention of several times, no preseason, barely a training camp. We're not exactly talking, polished professionals just yet here.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's pretty much what we got. So just to briefly review the scoring. So 5:43 in the first, Nick Backstrom raises the curtain on 2021 with his first of the year. Oshie and Ovechkin on the assists. Taylor Hall answered for the Sabres on the power play about 3 minutes later. And 2 minutes after that, TJ Oshie, my man, with his first, also on the power play, making it 2-1 going into the second.
Mm-hmm.
Then 7:05 in the second, John Carlson with his first, TJ Oshie again on the assist, and Backstrom with his first assist of the year on that one. And then comes our strange one. About 6 minutes later, a little over 6 minutes later, Brendan Dillon, of all people, loops a shot from the blue line, and this thing had eyes, made its way to the net and past Carter Hart. No, that's not Carter Hart, is it? Carter.
Yeah. No, that's.
I always get them mixed up. Carrie from the Flyers fan is going to kill me.
I was going to say you've got the Flyers and Buffalo mixed up.
I know. He's Carter Hutton, the goalie. I always get him and Carter Hart mixed up. I don't know why, but it skipped past Carter Hutton and into the net for a 4-1 lead, and we thought, okay, most of us thought anyway, game was in hand, and then Toby Eager Reader comes in and 5 minutes later makes it 4-2 with a wraparound just before the period ended. And then Jake McCabe quickly, 20 seconds into the third, makes it 4-3, and then some body parts beginning to tighten after that. And then who should come to call but the man we are all hoping will have a bounce back year, Jacob Vrana.
Awesome.
This thing was prettier than 10 sunsets.
I needed this as a Jacob Vrana fan and supporter. And of course, he needed this after the shitty second half of the season he had. But this was that, when they always call him Jake the Snake, but this was it. This was a scene that he has not given up. He is going to give it his all, and awesome. Unassisted.
Yep. And unassisted. He snuck his way into the slot and, like a thief in the night, stole the puck from an unsuspecting Eric Stahl.
Mm-hmm.
And just put it home. It was a thing of beauty. Probably the goal of the night for me, anyway. So that turned out to be the game winner. And for insurance, it turned out to be the game winner because Victor Olofsson got one back after they pulled the goalie, after they pulled Carter Hutton.
There you go.
The goalie. At 18:06, making all of so that tightening feeling came back after that, and then Garnet Hathaway with a bullseye from about 150 feet puts it away for the insurance goal. Nick Jensen on that assist, the empty netter with a minute left to play, and that was how it ended. Your 3 stars of the game: TJ Oshie with a 2-point night. Nicholas Backstrom, the same. Alex Ovechkin did not score a goal, but picked up 2 assists for the 3rd star. Taking a brief look at the vitals of this game, face-off dot, much better than the average of last year, just a hair under 51% for the good guys. Shots on goal, 28-26 in favor of the good guys. Power play converted 1 out of 2 for the Caps. Gave the Sabres 3 chances, and they stopped 2 of those 3. I didn't think this wasn't a very physical game, save for that that hit by Nick Dowd on Stahl later on.
Yeah.
But the hit edge, a slight edge in the Sabres' favor there. Other than that, yeah, it was as advertised, first of the year, and guys just trying to get back in their groove, and not exactly pretty hockey, but
I didn't think it was terrible.
A win is a win. No, I didn't think it was terrible, but
I think it was. I will say. So my brother reached out and was like, "Hey, asking for a friend, quote unquote," which he wasn't, but anyways. You think that they could score more than 5 points tonight? And I thought, it's that adrenaline rush of the first game that anything could happen, and why not? Like, yeah, go for it. Whatever his wager was for whatever betting site he was going to, but I just thought it was funny they reached out to me, but I was like, yeah, go for it. So he did. So his, I don't know, wager. So he was grateful, but whatever. But nice. I think that it gave the fans, I don't know, like I almost felt like I had like it sounds stupid to say, but I almost felt like I had like a weight lifted, because I think I just needed to not see so much negativity. The media, the inauguration, the Capitol, like all that kind of stuff was like hovering over everybody recently. I was like, I just wanted to see some Caps, puck drop, 60-minute hockey, see all my players out there, maybe see a little fight, maybe a little something, something.
It was a nice big step back to everything being normal again.
Exactly.
Even though, I mean, no fans in the stands and piped in crowd noise and whatnot, but still,
it was good. Like I felt, I definitely, minus, and I said this before, my work week was so crazy. Like it literally was like, I felt like I had a full moon over the Knox household, Monday through Friday. That usually like I'm, throwing out messages. I got text messages. I got Facebook posts, Twitter, you name it. And it's like, I look down and like my phone dead. I was like, what the hell? So like, the whole like Wilson Vrana and like the next game and Vrana scores. And it's like one of my threes. And I'm like, this happened in the Stanley Cup Finals. Like, how does this happen? So that's going to be my goal for the next set of games, the rest of the season, to be sure that when I'm done with school, I charge my phone so that when the puck drops at 7, I'm prepared.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, especially those of you who are used to those bright, resounding posts on our Facebook page, that would be why you didn't see much of the Mermaid there.
I know,
because of that said phone issue. So
because I had a whole lot of like, fuck yeah, Tommy, and like all the language that everyone loves so much. But it's the passion. Come on, that's my excuse. But yeah, I just looked at myself like, are you kidding me? My phone. And then I just, I plugged it in. By then it was like, whatever. We had like 12 minutes left. So yes, that's my goal. I'm going to pay more attention to battery charge.
Okay, so yeah, moving on. Moving on. So it again, not because lack of enthusiasm for sure, and but yeah, it was great to have hockey back. Great to have great opening game. Great to just see the guys, just kind of get everything to come together and look at it. I'll just couple more things I want to touch on. Mm-hmm. So it was the debut, of course, of Zdeno Chara, among others. And so morning after, I get kind of a tease text in our work chat room from, and I'll explain this at the end here, but from my quote unquote prick boss. He's not really a prick boss. I just call him that. But he left me a note in the chat, in one of our private chat rooms, said, "So, how does it feel to have a 60-year-old defenseman playing 20 minutes a night for you?"
Great, because we won.
Yeah, it's pretty much what I said. I said, well, yeah, he played 20 minutes. He killed 2 penalties. Yeah. He had 1 takeaway, and he wasn't a minus player. So, yeah, I'll take it.
Right. And you know what? I didn't expect him to come out and go, balls to the wall like ridiculous. I appreciate the fact that he kept his head in the game, and he's going to play like a more methodical game. And that's why we have 33, because he has that experience, because he has those 14 years with Boston, that I think what I saw was him not showboating anything, and I don't think that's his style anyways. But I think that he played smart hockey, and I think that we're now, especially today, starting to see that Chara that we all hated when we had to play Boston in the aggressive sense, but still, again, playing smart hockey. So I think it's great.
Yeah, I think it's great too. I couldn't have said it better, Anna. He played a very smart game. Mm-hmm. He was sound positionally, and like I said, he was not a minus player. Goals aplenty all over the place, but he came out looking very good. Not a minus player. Acquitted himself very well. Mm-hmm. So I thought. So yeah, I think we can expect good things from him and others. Mm-hmm. Okay, and so the last thing, it's not so much about the game, but the night in general. On the Facebook page, I posted a picture of the in-game meal, not the pre-game meal, but the in-game meal we had here at the Blue Liner household, all 3 of us here. And I understand several were drooling over that. And so I just want to make the announcement here that if you actually want the recipe, I can give it to you. But I think, Anna, you teased me about this when I told you we might have to alter the schedule because the recordings might run into dinner. And you said, well, why not do a cooking/hockey podcast? But I just want to say, Ron Deal, we're not any threat to you. You keep up your cooking videos, and we won't be getting into any of that.
No, it looked delicious. I love a homemade pizza.
Oh, these are always fantastic. You have the right ingredients. It's great. So anybody wants to ask me about that, go to the Facebook page and we'll talk non-hockey for once. All right. So moving on, the very next night. So the Friday night game again in Buffalo. Get used to it, folks. Going to be a lot of back-to-backs. You had to wonder how everything was going to look as kind of sloppy-ish as things were in game 1. Game number 2 on a back-to-back night. Of course, Samsonov got the win, and since it was back-to-back, of course, Laviolette opting with Vitek Vanacek, making his league career debut, and played pretty well, I thought. Got the 2-1 win. Wasn't made any one of the 3 stars. I thought that was something of a crime, but
yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah, had 31 shots flung at him, stopped all but 1. So 30 out of 31, pretty damn good for a first game. Very brief scoring rundown because there were only 3 goals, but my, oh my, they were pretty, all 3 of them. Jacob Vrana picked up where he left off. There's no scoring in the first period. And to that, I think both teams were either that tired or both coaches put a boot up everyone's butt for the sloppy defensive play. But, no score in the first, 1:34 into the second. Jacob Vrana picked up right where he left off. So it all starts with a play along the strong side board, the right-hand boards, where Tom Wilson fought for the puck and picked it up at the blue line, sees a streaking Jacob Vrana come in.
I'd like to see a streaking Jacob Vrana. Anyways.
Towards the goal and just gets it off to him just in time, and he snaps one past the goalie. So who's the Sabres backup? Linus Ullmark. Linus Ullmark was the Sabres goalie for this game. Snaps it past him for the opener. Like I said, pretty goal. Loved seeing that. No more scoring in the second. Rasmus Risplint-Olainen evens it up. 31 seconds. That's something I already don't like. These early within a minute goals in the next period. Yeah. Ties it 1-1. And then who should come a-calling about 7 minutes later and gets the game winner? Help me out here, Anna. What's his name?
What is his name? I'm trying to.
Where's 43? Tall guy, dark hair.
No, would it be my Tommy?
Would it be?
It would be. Which, can we just say, can we just have a little pause for a second? That I have been a Tommy fan forever. Everybody knows this. How awesome has he looked? The first game was good. The second game was awesome. And today's game, he has just found his groove. And I'm proud.
And quietly too. It's not
exactly. We're not dropping the gloves 24/7. That's kind of been all Dylan. Not fighting, not getting himself in trouble, not too many scraps after the whistle, but just quietly going about doing his job. Mm-hmm.
And and he's not on the top line anymore, which raised some eyebrows, but I mean,
look at that top line.
True. Others would kind of stamp their feet and pout, but you know what? It's still a job to him. He still goes about it the right way, and he so for his first of the year, a nice snapper from the right-hand circle, right-hand face-off circle, assisted by Nick Backstrom, and that turned out to be that game's winner.
Mm-hmm. Well deserved.
Well, very well deserved. Okay, so shots on goal, quick run of the vitals. Only 21 for the Caps. I was a little disappointed to see that. 31 for the Sabres. A little disturbed to see that. No power play chances for the Capitals. That's right. I said no power play chances for the Capitals, even though I saw at least, by my count, 3 or 4 calls that could have gone our way. Right. 5 for the Sabres, so
kind of a theme for especially after today's game.
Kind of a theme, yeah. I think, yeah, you're right. So it kind of skewed. I'll just leave it at that. Skewed is a good word for that. Hit department, Caps surprisingly physical. 27 to 15 hits. Considering they come off the back-to-back and they usually look a lot tired coming off of that. But, really laid down the body there. And, like I said, the only thing I didn't like was the ton of shots they gave up and the lack of shots they produced. But they managed to eke out the win. And, sometimes you just got to get the 2 points any way you can.
Absolutely. And I didn't think, honestly, I thought, I knew the first game they were to come out and it was going to be adrenaline pumping and craziness and great. Okay, fine. And the penalty minutes were not terrible. They're fine. And I think for the second game, it was, kind of to be expected. But we also knew going into today's game that just because of who it is, you're to go, there's going to either be a shit ton of penalty minutes because of Letang or, Malkin and any of those other guys that we all can't stand, or, not going to be, and they're going to, keep their head in the game. And it was kind of a little 50-50. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump ahead.
No, it's fine. I was, there really wasn't much more that I wanted to go over for that game. You can't even say they clamped down because, like I said, they still gave up 30 shots.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't want to see that. But V squared that's what I'm going to call him. By the way,
okay.
Y'all can call him whatever you want. I'm calling him V squared. He acquitted himself very well for his debut, and I would like to see more of him. I think he's going to do very well.
I think so too. I don't know, and I'm not sure what it was, because I think I'm understanding Laviolette's position on having two young goalies, and they already have a good chemistry, so there's no kind of awkwardness between them. Not that that really matters, but they very much support each other. But I felt like Vanacek's game was stronger. However, seeing Sammy today, there were some impressive saves from him. And we can get into that like another, I don't even know if I even want to open that Pandora's box. Let me just say this. You're right. We don't have time, but let's just say it's entirely possible that somewhere down the line, whether it's this season or next or sometime in the future, it's entirely possible that there will be a goalie controversy. Right.
That we will need to discuss at length. And again, don't be surprised if you and I have that conversation very soon.
No, but I got it.
Now is not the appropriate time for that.
Too soon.
Yeah. It's too soon. It's too soon to compare brain pans or jock straps or anything like that. So it's
remember that Sammy only played 28 games in Hershey last year between injuries and whatnot, where Vanacek has had 5 years.
Well, right, and that's the point I made in a previous podcast, that the man I'm talking about, Samsonov, has never played more than 30-odd games in a professional season. Right. So, if the folks at home listening, you didn't hear, that was the musings of Mrs. Blue Liner, our illustrious seamstress for the band, chiming in with the fact that V squared is a seasoned professional, though he has not yet cracked an NHL lineup until this year, and thus the professional experience edge goes to him, at least in some way. But again, too early to be talking goalie controversy. Let's get through the first 20-odd games of the season. But let's just say it's entirely possible that it'll happen.
Agree.
Okay. So, all right. So on to the game that mattered most for this past week anyway. The one we've been hyping sort of for a while, the one that was on national TV versus the subarctic Arctic Boyds from Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. Okay. But before we start the recap of that, Anna?
Yes?
Have I told you lately that I hate the shootout?
Oh, gosh. This season?
Have I told you there's nothing else I'd rather?
Because we're 3 games into it. But as the previous 3 or 4 seasons that we've done together, yes, quite frequently.
Okay, so
go ahead.
Maybe not lately, but have I told you there's nothing else I would rather see? Makes me all pissed off I just wish the fucking thing would kiss off. Makes me throw at the TV. That's what you do. Shootout. Thank you very much. I just wanted to throw that in there.
Okay.
Apologies to Rod Stewart. Anyway, so yeah, we all saw the game. Hopefully you out there on the other side of the speakers, the earbud, what have you, however you're listening to this by now, have seen the game. And yes, you all know that it ended in the dreaded shootout. Brief summary of the scoring. Okay, so again, early period goal, 19 seconds in. How many seconds? 19.
Yeah, that sucked. That always kind of
very
a really just bad vibe.
Yeah, and it kind of pissed us off too. Guy by the name of Evan Rodriguez, with his first of the year, opened the scoring. Bit of a surprise, assisted by Dumoulin and Gensel. But 12 minutes later, Nick Dowd comes in with the gritty goal. This was possibly going to be contested, but it was pretty obvious on a couple of replays that he managed to get it all the way in. So he ties it with the backhand. And then Alex Ovechkin with his first of the year. Nice to hear from the captain, assisted by Wilson and Kuznetsov, making it 2-1. He desperately needed that.
Really needed that. But yeah, anyways.
Yeah, it's not natural to go very long without an Ovechkin goal, among other things. So
you said it.
Okay, so the yes, I did say it. So all right, so the second period, it did take a little bit longer for the Pens to come back, but they did. And so it was Colton Sevier, he late of the Florida Panthers, tying it up at 2. And so let me hang on. Let me just check out this goal here, because I kind of had to watch it a few times just to believe what had happened. So I'm checking out the replay here.
Mm-hmm. This is where the camera wasn't working in the goal.
What? No. This is the. Oh, you know what? You were right. I think that was the one where they had the replay. Let me double check. Sorry, I'm not more prepared here.
All right, you got about 5 more minutes of my time before I'm gonna go cook dinner and watch that Bucks Saints game. Damn it, Tom Brady.
Yeah, no, you're right. That was the one. You were right. Good catch, Anna. That was the one where it hit the camera and they didn't know, the people running the replay didn't know what to do with it. But it was in. It was in. So yeah,
it's actually very funny because I had to take. So I told you. I think I told you that we rescued another dog because our house isn't chaotic enough, and I had to take her to the vet today. And so I'm in the car. Kona's in the vet, and they tell you have to wait outside. And I'm like, oh my God, thank God for John Walton. And I will say I was laughing because he was so convinced that was not a goal. It's not a goal. Why is it taking so long? And, and they were like, just like, oh yeah, it's a goal. It's a goal. It's a goal. Like, what are we debating? And then all of a sudden, John Walton realizes that we don't have, as viewers, that camera that's in, like, between the pipes. And that's where, and then all of a sudden they're like, maybe it wasn't a goal. But it was like very few times that you hear like John Walton, go, like, he was so fired up, and then he was like, oh man, hold on, I guess they called it right. So it was funny to hear. I was stuck in the car for like a good chunk of that time.
Well, the first couple angles on the TV replays, it did not look like a goal. It looked like it hit the underside of the crossbar and not really the net, and then dropped out. outside in front of the goal. But there was this really odd angle that showed where it hit the padding underneath of the crossbar and stuck to the top of the net. And that was clearly, that showed it was clearly in. So that is what they used to justify it. So it was really, you know, when you saw that, there was no denying. There was no denying that, you know, it was a good goal. Look, you know, we have to be honest. We have to play it on the straight and narrow here. It was a good goal, unfortunately. And I don't know, not to add fuel to the fire we were just talking about before, but what the hell was Sammy doing behind the net on that play? You know, I don't know. I don't understand that. But anyway, so that goal was by Colton Sevier and assisted by, let's see, who was it assisted by? Teddy Blucher. Okay, so no problem. Anna having some slight technical difficulty there. So, all right, so great. Okay, so all good. So I was just telling the listeners that about the goal and what happened, and the fact that it was assisted by Teddy Blucher.
No.
Anyway, so that tied it up, and that left it. That opened the scoring on the second. So let's see. Backstrom brings back the lead. A nice backdoor play on the power play with his second of the year. Ovechkin and Kuznetsov on the assists, and then Marcus Pettersson tied it up again.
Yeah. At
12:57 with a wrister. So, and that is how regulation ended.
Yep.
No scoring in the third. And then we go to the thing that
you hate.
Makes me want to yak buckets of my own bile into wherever. Yeah, you want to talk about the rest of this? You can, but yeah.
No, I'm good. I think I will say usually the shootouts don't bother me as much as they bother you. Whatever. I could tell from those who were participating that they were fucking tired. Oh my God. I mean, both teams, you know, it was like, man, not only are they coming out of, you know, this weirdo COVID bubble and all these kinds of things, but, you know, all these back-to-back games, and then all of a sudden you're in overtime and then you're in the shootout. It's like, you just want like done. Whatever. It wasn't impressive. I wasn't really excited when I saw it because, you know, they looked tired. So I kind of just felt more sorry for them than anything. But I do, however, think on Tuesday we're going to see a different Capitals team. I don't think we ever see them. I'm not going to say ever, but I don't feel like the noon Penguins games are ever in our favor.
No, I get the whole, you know, national TV thing, and it's a Ovechkin versus Crosby again. Yeah, right. Well, look, don't
care. We don't care.
Yeah, really. But yeah, on top of that, and folks, don't take this the wrong way, but you know what? It's old Ovechkin versus old Crosby. Okay, yeah. Come on.
Yeah,
cut them some slack.
Yeah, it's just that, like, at this point, it's like, okay, been there, done that.
Right.
You know, okay, like, I'd rather see a new, young rivalry or something else. But yeah, it gets old after a while because it's like, my God, it's been 15 years we've been hearing about this.
Yeah, really.
So, and I still hate Crosby. So it's obviously there's still some stuff there, that little residual kind of dislike, but whatever. But I think Tuesday evening, we will see a more fine-tuned Capitals and Tommy on that second line.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm not going to say anyone had a bad game here, but obviously not the result we wanted. Just a quick scan of the vitals here. Shot edge to the Penguins, 23 for the Capitals, 27 for the Penguins. Worst day at the faceoff dot so far this season, 46.9. Power play. This was interesting. You want to know how many power plays there were combined for both teams? How many times each team had a player sent to the box?
Yeah, go ahead.
9 times.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
9
I will say
times.
that the penalties in this game are the only thing. Like, I'm not even going to say that a player sucked or a player didn't stand out or step up or, throw Sammy under the bus. I'm going to say it's the penalties, and that goes for everybody. That's a team thing. That just sucked. So. Yeah,
and that's to be expected when everybody's, as tired as they looked. Lots of restraining fouls, lots of so first period, tripping, holding, second period, cross checking, that's a little aggressive, interference, hooking, tripping. So Tom Wilson apparently did his impersonation of a horror movie film star, slashing penalty there, and then a bench minor to top it all off. But yeah, I mean, little on the undisciplined side, both teams there. That's you never want to see that. You don't want that to become a habit.
No.
Now, looking on the bright side, though, all 5 power plays that got handed to Pittsburgh, they killed.
True.
So you want to look on the bright side. There is that.
Okay.
Pretty good job by the penalty kill. And these two teams came to play. You know how I know? 46 hits for the Caps, 33 for the Penguins. That's probably more than the past 2 games combined for each of these teams. Caps started out pretty good, 12 shots in the first, but then it all went off a cliff in the second, only 3.
They looked tired. And I think that was what I was starting to see was they just didn't have it in them. And I don't know if that's going to be the curse of the COVID back-to-back games. Not that they've never played back-to-back games before, but I feel like this is, for the Capitals, this was the 3rd game in like 4 days. It's a lot.
No, you're right. You're right. It's a big ask, and this whole season is going to be a big ask. And the key is going to be how Coach Laviolette manages the roster. And
True.
So,
but I think we saw that today with him moving Tommy to the 3rd line, and I think that is going to be a good thing. And I know that a lot of the people who saw his Cobra Kai, pump up first game win locker room speech were super amped. And not that I wasn't, but I'm just saying that really seemed to kind of get people to think okay, this is a guy who's very motivating and not necessarily what we have with Todd Reardon. But I also think that he knows what he's doing, and we just have to, you're going to have to play a couple of games before we say, okay, hey, this D line isn't working, or put Chara with somebody else, or I'm still not totally impressed with Panik. And so it's I still got to work on that, but yeah, we'll see.
Anna son, you make good observation, Anna son.
No.
Thank you.
Nope.
But you hockey do yes. You hockey do no. Safe.
I'm going to leave this conversation.
You hockey leave conversation not good. You understand? Anna son. Okay.
You can only feel the eye roll through the computer.
Yeah. All right. So that is okay. So that's the week that was on the ice. 2-0-1 for the record. Not even worth looking at the standings yet. So we're not going to worry about that. But 3 games, 5 points, pretty good. Walk away with the Price is Right loser's point. That's fine in this past game. Yep. And okay, so quick check of the upcoming schedule. You already mentioned it. The next game, Tuesday, tomorrow, of course, being MLK Day. But there's going to be hockey then, just no Caps hockey. Still in Pittsburgh, 7:00 puck drop for that one. They don't play again. Guess what? They're against Buffalo again, but it is the home opener, the Capital One opener, Friday night against Buffalo once again, 7:00 puck drop for that. And then their next one in that series is also at the Capital One. In fact, there's looks like a 8 game homestand there, about 4 series worth. So Buffalo again at 3:00 that next Sunday. So that's your next week's preview. I think you're right. I think that the guys to key on besides Wilson are going to be the goalies, and I would say Vrana. He's off to a pretty good start. So the key is can he keep that up?
Sorry. Oh,
go ahead.
A little rusty. I hate to cut people off.
We're fine. Go ahead.
I was going to say yes, Wilson impressive, but I keep hearing these little chirps, Twitter and social media and interviews, whatever, that how people keep talking about Ovechkin and Backstrom, a little bit of TJ Oshie in regards to age. And I think, people get concerned about how old they are and, whatever little chirping's going around. But I will say that I think it was a fantastic show for everybody out there to see, like, hey, Backstrom's not done. Ovechkin's not done. We still have a very strong vet presence. Now we need to see what the other players can do. And I do think that Jacob Braun is going to be one of those who's going to, after last year's fumble, be more consistent this season.
True enough. Look, it's too early to make any snap judgments about anything. It's the season, even though it's 56 games and abbreviated, it's too early to say, well, this guy's going to have a bad year. This guy's no good, blah, blah, blah. Right. It's way too early to make any such judgment. Let's give the season time to play out.
Yep.
So yeah, I would just ignore that noise like that. It's just not really part of the conversation as far as I'm concerned.
I get it.
So, all right. So I think that'll do it for this week. Kind of a small sample size, I know, but I like what I saw for the most part, and good things, some bad things, but I think this team is on its way. They're a good, solid contender. Any final thoughts, Anna?
No, I agree. Absolutely. I think it's too soon to judge, but I've liked what I've seen, and I like the chemistry.
I do too. And so we'll see how that plays out for the rest of the year. Okay, so we'll end it on that note. So for the Mermaid Anna Knox, this is the Blue Liner on Point, signing off again and reminding you that you really shouldn't get into any sort of a heated argument with a snowman, because they're going to lose their cool and have a meltdown.
Okay. Good to know.
Hallelujah, and let's go Caps.
Go Caps.
This has been another episode of the Power Play Point Podcast. All episodes are available from Apple Podcasts, the Podbean app, blueliner77.podbean.com, and now available from Stitcher. Music by Joe McAllister, voiceover by Jeffrey Conkle.
good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Power Play Point podcast. Thanks for listening.